sick, disgusting, horrifying, mortifying news. Indigestible. My brother Bonsai, I'm not going to name his name because he's one of the people I've never named, because the Russians have never doxed him, and I respect the right to privacy of anyone who's never been doxed. But dead, I'm hearing. My best friend in the Legion, the best of us, Corazon Dorada, or Serci Zoloty, as they would say in Ukrainsky, Sershik, or Kharkovsky, Donbassky. I'm here by the Soviet tank. I believe it's a T-34, and the British tank from World War I that our government supposedly tried buying back is over yonder. Quite a quaint piece of technology. Imagine them rumbling towards you. Must have been terrifying in the trenches of Western Europe in World War I, when the Germans first saw those monsters rolling towards them. Now it just looks like drone bait. And amazing. We're a terrible species. Our technology, from one war, from the First World War to the Second, and our advancements, our technological advancements always spike in times of war. Anyway, everyone's in shock. You know, Judah's just left as well, telling me that I should leave and that I shouldn't have returned to the army. I'm now in an assault regiment, due to report in the next couple of days. I mean, yeah, we've not seen any footage or anything. We're told that Bonsai last contacted me. He told me he was in Sumy in May, and then I've got the brain damage shakes, so my phone is shaking like an Indian man's head. But I'm actually wearing Bonsai's patch. The Bonsai. Yeah. And I'll continue wearing it in his honour. Which is ironic, considering that he once told Judah off for wearing a patch that Sierra gave him when Sierra had died. Bonsai was a stickler for professionalism. And he was a fireman. Everyone loves firemen. I've got into arguments with people who say ACAB, all cops are bastards. But I've shared trenches with Ukrainian, Georgian, Colombian and Brazilian cops. One of whom died, Bruno Samurai, mine and Judah's best pal. One of the two Brazilians that I joined in the 2nd Battalion of the Legion. Bonsai told me he'd died. And I was in floods of tears then, so was Judah. And then that was about a week before I got out of hospital in Kharkiv in October 2024. And then it was Bonsai who told me Masha, Maria Zaitseva, had died. And again, I was in floods of tears, as was Bonsai, as was Judah. And now I've not shed a single tear over Bonsai. And he was the best of us. The most honest man I've ever met, I think. Only a couple of days ago, Judah was telling me, hey, you're like not a soldier, bro, you're an idealist. You know, this place doesn't deserve guys like you anymore, and you and Bonsai should leave. And the sad thing is, Bonsai was going to leave. And I've had to explain to Judah that, look, I've only just got eye surgery after waiting 2 years for it. Didn't do all that much the last time I got sent back to the unit, the last 2 times. Now I've had eye surgery. And I won't forgive myself if I don't leave, if I don't return to usefulness, which is why I've come back and why I'm in the new assault regiment. But yeah, new patch to be earned, I guess. Still rocking the old 2nd Battalion of the Legion combat patch, but even if Bonsai himself wouldn't have approved, I'm sure he'd know that it was done in love. But yeah, I'm rocking my Bonsai patch for sure. sickening. It's just, from soaring powerfully over the peaks to drowning powerlessly in a sea of despair. He left for 2nd Battalion last February, so the last time I saw him would have been with the unit, and he left and he went and joined the 3rd Tanks Brigade, which is part of the reason why I'm sat with the tank on Maidan Konstitucji. You know, a tank in honor of Bonsai, because he was the best of us, man. Getting in the cannon, he was the best of us. I think he left for Christmas, because last Christmas Day we spent 3 hours on the phone talking about Liman and Sloviansk and the way the war was and is, and I've got hundreds of hours of voicemail from him. But yeah, it's those conversations in person and those phone conversations on Christmas Day and all these other moments that are lost in time like tears in rain. My head's in bits. I mean, the medic who said that he's dead, we've not seen footage or anything. She said that he's 200 and 500, hit by an FPV in Kharkiv. The last he told me in May, he was in Sumy. And then June the 16th, he told me he was going out on mission. I know that he was only staying with whoever he was with, because they promised him a medical course. Not a week-long TCCC or a 2 to 4 week CLS, but the next level up. Something closer to being an actual EMT or paramedic, or, you know, a highly qualified combat medic, an actual medical practitioner, like a 3 or 4 or 5 month course. So he was just hanging tough to do this medical course, and now he's dead, and he was the best of us. This medic, this is the same person who the last time I returned to the unit, she said something along the lines of, 1 minute. Yeah, so this is the same combat medic who, when I asked about Bruno's death at Chasiv Yar the last time I returned to the unit, she said, oh yeah, him and the Colombians, they got lost, and they got scared and tried running away, and they ran into Russian positions, when in reality that is complete nonsense, because I spoke to all the guys who were on drones and had the footage, and they said Bruno Barros Melo actually went back for a wounded brother called Kratos, back through a minefield next to the Road of Life between Chasiv Yar and Bakhmut, and this is October 2024, a year and a half after Bakhmut fell, so way behind enemy lines. He went back, he got his legs blown off, and spent 3 days with tourniquets on the stumps of his legs, dying in a minefield. So yeah, there is previous, and part of me is saying, oh, she's just talking gibberish, but apparently someone called Tristram does have footage, and apparently Bonsai really was hit by an FPV, and I'm struggling to process it. It's indigestible, but perhaps it is the case. But yeah, I decided to come here at 33, and I just turned 34 in August 2022 when I did come, and now I'm 38 in a few days. 33 to 38, and in all that time, Bonsai is about the best of us, and it's always going to be indigestible. You know, I love that man. He kept money aside every month to give to families of our deceased brothers and sisters, presumably, considering Maria Mashazait Seva. It's the best of us, and it's never going to be right. Never going to be right, but what can we do but move on? Not that I'll ever get over this, but yeah, he was the best of us. Bonsai, known to the Chosen Company guys as Tiny, to the 2nd Battalion of the Legion guys as Bonsai. 7-foot Polish giant, a gigantic Polak with a heart of gold. Fireman, combat medic, infantryman, warrior, brother, Druge, and apparently dead in Kharkiv due to an FPV drone strike that's never going to be all right. But yeah, pam'ять, vічная. Without resistance, the victories of evil are predetermined. Slava Bonsai.